friends. Welcome to Change Started, to our series Change Trails. So again, we have a very special guest, Sujata Chatterjee. She is the founder of 12 Store. So just to set some context, global apparels market is about $1 trillion industry. So which means a lot of clothes are bought every day. I mean, there are millions of clothes which are bought every day. I'm sure each one of us are buying t-shirt, jeans, dresses, like quite often. But interesting point is what happens once the life of that cloth is complete, once it is torn or once it is no longer used, once it is discarded. So what happens after that? I mean, it is a very interesting thing to ponder. I'm sure a lot of clothes would be there in a wardrobe sitting there and doing nothing. So that's where Sujata's 12 store comes in. So we have the lady herself who is going to answer all that. So welcome, Sujata. Welcome to Change Started. Uh, Extremely delighted to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So why don't you start with your journey, Sujata, before we get on to 12 store?
Sure. So, as you rightly mentioned, my journey also started from my wardrobe only. There was a time of around 2, 3 years back when I felt my wardrobe was simply too full of things, and I didn't know what to do with them. I knew that I wasn't going to repeat most of them, and yet I was struggling to find out what I could do with them and what are the options. And it was while sort of looking for an option for my own clothes that I realized that actually there's no one really talking about this very relevant issue that we all seem to be facing. This problem was not limited to just me, my friends, or my family. Nearly everyone I spoke to had the same problem, and nearly everyone said, but we don't know what else to do with it except keep mounting it in our wardrobe. And at the same time, we live in a country where there are lakhs of people in slums and villages who struggle to find basic clothing. And there are so many talented women around us who need a decent source of livelihood. So these were things that bothered me. Even more was the environmental aspect of it. Because we live in an age of fast fashion, we have to realize that this is coming at a huge cost to the environment. In fact, every time a fabric is made, it takes up a lot of natural resources, gallons of water. So, if we can in any way reuse these fabrics or these clothing, we're doing, our bit not only to the society around us, but also to the environment.
How was it before? I mean, what were you doing before you started 12 store?
So I am actually from a very different background. So I'm an engineer by degree, and my previous work experience had been in the IT sector. I used to work in Hewlett Packard. So I was not at all from this industry or this kind of work. And I think, that was probably one of the main hurdles in front of me, that not only was I trying to build a business model that had never ever been done before, but at the same time, my educational background, my previous work experience, nothing sort of matched what I planned to do. And I knew no one in this industry or in this segment of fashion or retail. I still don't know anyone. But so these were all the challenges that sort of piled up against us, I think, when we started our journey.
Absolutely. So it is your personal problem which you had, and then you took it up and took it as a challenge, took it as a problem statement, and then expanded it to the outer world.
I think it's a personal problem I felt, but at the same time I realize it's a problem that is felt by so many people around us now in our own country, and if I may say so, across the world. Wherever there are urban cities, wherever there's a trend of fast fashion and shopping throughout the year, this problem is there in all cases. So my very personal problem is actually something most of us are now facing.
So when did you start 12 store? And what was the trigger point of
Uh,
12 store?
we started 12 Store in the end of 2017. So as I said, I was on the lookout for an answer to the questions that I had in why we could not use our excess to do better for the world. And seeing that no one was actually doing anything, or rather even talking about it, sort of prompted me to think that, even if no one is doing something, why cannot I be that person who brings about a change? So it was that wish of becoming a change maker that sort of, I think, propelled me to start Twirl Store and offer people a solution, not only to their problem, but along the way, we sort of benefit society and environment at every step.
Awesome, awesome. So, so how did you go about it? I mean, did you talk to, I mean, your initial set of people were your close family members, and I mean, how did you go about building that up? So, idea you have now, how to take it forward?
I think the idea of Twirl itself took a lot of time to formulate and finalize. As I said, being something that had not been done before, exactly how we would go about it, so that all the stakeholders are satisfied and everybody gains out of it. That was my major concern. So I actually spent a lot of time designing Twirl to the best possible solution, and then going forward, I sort of tried to build up my team. I tried to find these women who I wanted to work with, who I wanted to empower, and who are actually, the force behind Twirl Store. So my next step was probably that. And I will say that though the initial set of things that were probably made at Twirl Store were probably all from my wardrobe, I did manage to, empty out my wardrobe and put everything to a better use. But my set of customers, I think I'm very happy to say, were not necessarily my friends and family. It is, people who have really loved and liked the concept, who have come forward and, really become our customers. And more than that, sort of given us the confidence that we are on the right track. So, yeah, they were the ones who have told us that, you're doing the right thing, and it is for them that we continue to do the work.
Awesome. So if I word the concept, so it's like you're collecting the old clothes and putting it to some use, and then again selling it off or donating it to the outside world. Is that how the cycle works?
So at Twirl, we say if you have unwanted clothes in your wardrobe, please send them to Twirl. You, as a customer, you get rewarded with points. You can redeem these points again to buy new products from our website. But with all the old clothes that Twirl is collecting, we either donate them as clothing itself to those who need it, or we upcycle it as a fabric to create new products out of it. And this entire work of upcycling is all being done by the rural women. So it gives them also a source of livelihood. So they make products in the range of, say, bags, accessories, gift items, and things like that, all from upcycled fabrics. And these are available on our own website, www.twirl.store. And it's available, across offline modes also. It also goes in bulk orders, corporate gifting, everywhere. So all these products are in environment friendly, upcycled products, handcrafted by these women.
Awesome. So my next question is like, what kind of products do you upcycle? What kind of products do you take? So how's that working? I mean, is it only specific clothing you will accept, or is it any kind of clothing?
No, so we accept anything that's made of fabric, not only clothing. It can be anything that's made of fabric. So it's clothing, it can be curtains, bed sheets, tablecloths, anything and everything that you think is made of fabric and yet you are not using in your homes. We would be glad to take that. The only request we have is it shouldn't be, completely torn or completely discolored, because then, it's difficult for us to even upcycle or recycle it also. But anything that's, in a fairly good condition, we would be happy to take and give a new life to it.
Awesome. So I remember, I mean, during my childhood days, they used to be like utensils guys. You give your clothes to those guys, and in exchange, they used to give us vessels and utensils. So as a kid, I was always curious, what do they do with these clothes, right? And probably they must be upcycling back then, but probably in last 10, 15 years, we lost that concept. And you are kind of bringing that up, bringing that concept back by, I mean, it's really amazing, fascinating story. So how
I
many?
think, yeah. So taking from your point, I think it goes back in our traditions only. I think we've all had grandmothers or great grandmothers who have actually, remade their old saris into curtains or blankets. I think it has happened in all Indian homes. So it was part of our tradition and culture only. Somewhere when we became busy with life, we forgot all that. But so we have just taken a step back into our own culture and reminded people that upcycling is the thing to go to.
Absolutely. And considering whatever we are doing with the environment, I mean, these kind of things are absolutely necessary. So how many people are there in your team, Sujata?
So my core team is a small team, but I have an extended team which includes all these rural women that I work with. So, and I must tell you that 12 is actually a team of girls. So we are an all-girls team where every role in the organization is done by ladies from diverse backgrounds. So be it manufacturing, operations, sales. So across various quarters, we are associated with more than 50 women.
Awesome. That's great. Really great. So, I mean, absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's women empowerment as well. But I mean, so how's the traction like? How many customers you have onboarded? How many people have started using the system?
Absolutely. So we are proud to say that, we have customers across the country who have not only, sent their clothes to us and as well as, embraced our upcycle products. And even more importantly, we worked with, major reputed organizations who have partnered with us and, who believe in the concept we are doing and who have tried to, sort of spread the work we are doing to their employees as well. So it's been very encouraging that the small startup from Kolkata was recognized by so many organizations and loved by so many people. And in fact, even so many celebrities have come forward and sort of, said that the work we're doing is very positive. So that all of that is very encouraging for us.
It is. So is it? Are you just for Calcutta? I mean, is it only applicable in Calcutta, or anybody from all parts of India at least?
Absolutely. As I said, across the country, people are our customers. We are based in Kolkata. Our office is in Kolkata. But, the work we do spreads across and we do love of everyone from across the country. Anywhere in India, you can send in a request for a pickup and 12 store would arrange a pickup for your clothes from there. Similarly, you can buy your upcycle products from anywhere in the country and you would, anywhere in the world for that matter, and you would get the upcycle products delivered right there.
Great. So you must be having set of designers as well in your team who would be designing the products. Is that so?
So we do work with designers on case-to-case basis, but I must tell you that, like I mentioned, that actually upcycling was part of our traditions only. So I must tell you this: the rural women that I work with, they are actually, they have a very good idea about upcycling and what products to do and how to go about it. That is their natural inherent talent, and we are really proud to be able to support that. But you would be really amazed to know that they are, naturally talented in these things and they do a fine job of it.
Awesome. So what is your future plan from here on?
So the plans of 12 store are really big. We actually want to bring everybody into the sustainable circle. I personally believe that sustainability cannot remain a niche segment. It's not something that only a few people get involved with. Sustainability only makes sense if it becomes a mass movement and we all be part of it. And so I think 12 store is a step towards that. Everybody can easily say that, I do something towards sustainability just by being part of the 12 circle. If they just give their unwanted clothes to someone like us for better use and they embrace an upcycle product even now and then, that is also a step towards sustainability. And that's exactly what we aim to do at 12. We may aim to make it a mass movement, that is accessible and affordable for everyone. So 12 products are actually very reasonably priced also for this reason, that everybody deserves to have a sustainable product.
Absolutely fascinating. So any plans to raise money and take this movement forward?
So I started 12 Store as a self-funded initiative because I believed in it. I'm passionate about it. But we're proud to say that, we're just 3 years old now. But we're, self-sustaining. It is our customers, it is their love that has sustained us. And I think, that nothing can be more satisfying than being able to say this, that we are self-sustaining, and we can sustain ourselves by this. And while we talk about sustainability, I think it's also important to build sustainable businesses also. This was something I was very conscious about, that only then can the positive work that we aim to do can only be carried forward if we prove to be sustainable. So I think our focus has been and will be more towards being sustainable ourselves. And if in the future course more things come our way, we will take it as it is. But our overlying aim is to be self-sustaining.
Absolutely, more power to you in order to take this vision ahead. So I mean, and you have an interesting name. What is the idea or story behind Twirl? Twirl is a very interesting name, sounds very interesting.
So the word twirl actually means, rotating, just going around very fast. And that's actually what I want to make fashion into. Right now, retail is a linear trajectory. It's just buying, using, then keeping, that's it. There's an end. But we look at, retail, that it should become a full circle. You buy, you use, when you don't need, you give to twirl, then you again buy, and it goes around like this. So it was this wish to, convert the whole system that we in the linear part to a, circular part that sort of prompted us to give the name Twirl.
Very nice. So in the age of mantras and Shopper Stop and lifestyle, we have Twirl as well, which people should look up to. So my final few questions. I mean, what is your personal connect with environment and nature? So leave everything, just your personal connect with nature.
I think we live in one world, and what we are doing to this world is what we are, is going to affect our future and our future generations. And that is something that I feel passionately about, that I want to leave a better world for my children, for all our children. And that is probably my own selfish motive behind doing whatever little that I do. A better society, a better environment means a better future for my own children. So that is, my take on it, I'd say. And I say this also, wherever I speak, that please help us, or please join Twirl, because together we can twirl to a better world. So that is always my idea at the end of it, that we have to leave behind a better world for them.
Absolutely. So anybody who's watching our show, I mean, should take this advice, look at their wardrobe, look at their cupboards, see things, whatever is not necessary, and directly approach Twirl Store and dispose them as soon as possible, because we have a lot of other people who are waiting for it. So can you show us something, Sujata? Can you show us something if you have anything available right now? Any
So I'm not sitting with a way too much, but I always wear Twirl products only. So if you can see the accessories that I'm wearing, they're all Twirl. If you can see the room decor behind me, that is Twirl. So anything and everything you would spot me at any time in, anywhere with, you would know that is a Twirl product.
Great, absolutely great. Wonderful talking to you, Sujata. I mean, absolutely pleasure. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.